Hey, what's going on? My name is Jelena from Ostrovska.com, and in this video I wanted to do a special book review. This is actually the book that I wanted to read for quite some time, and I finally finished it a couple of weeks ago, maybe a few days ago, which is The One Thing by Keller and Papasan. So many reviews that I've heard before, and so many friends of mine actually recommended that book. And I was like, well, I have to read this. The book is pretty much on how you stay more productive, how do you actually focus on one thing, because here's what happens. Most people, and I'm doing quite a bit of coaching calls, and I recommend this book to actually every single coaching client that I work with, and basically, yes, I do recommend that book. However, there are, I would say, maybe like one thing actually that I disagree with, which is, like, I'm gonna cover this at the end of the book review. So first of all, I really love the way book is actually structured. When it comes to, it's very simple to read. Honestly, I think I read it maybe like at a slow pace around, it took me about maybe 1 or 2 weeks maximum. So it's very, very easy to read based on how it's broken down, based on different, graphics and underlines and things like that. So I really love the way it's being put together, right? So what's your one thing? This is like a good question to ask yourself, obviously. So I'm gonna fly through this book. So first of all, it's broken down into 3 different sections. The first one is the lies that they mislead and derail us. So like the first of all, it's actually a good starting point for that kind of book, because you have to know what kind of so there are basically 6 different lies, right, that the authors actually cover inside the book, which is everything matters equally, multitasking, a disciplined life. This is actually something I do disagree with, like about the discipline, because from my perspective, the authors mentioned that habits and discipline are 2 different things. I completely disagree with that, because I believe that you have to be disciplined, especially when you're just getting started, in order to create those habits. This is the way I see that. Most people will probably disagree with me. However, that's just my personal opinion. Discipline has really served me well while I was in school, just getting ready for all those exams, sticking to my commitments, and being very, I would say, disciplined, obviously. Because if you are not sticking to what you said you were going to do, if you did not, prepare for, like a webinar, if you didn't do like what you were supposed to do, it's not discipline, right? And I believe in the beginning, discipline is not something that you are going to like, because you will have to stretch yourself. You usually have to do the things that you're maybe uncomfortable doing, and that's what discipline exists for, right? Then, obviously, let's say for me, it's blogging. I have to become very disciplined and very consistent when it comes to putting together blog posts and sharing them out with my audience, because in the beginning, I did not want to do this. It just was so difficult. That's why I had to make it a habit, which is, I took 30-day challenge, then I took like a longer challenge. So that's the way I see that. That's why I don't believe that you should not be disciplined. In the beginning, you should be. Then, yes, you develop a habit, and it's like your second nature, whether it's blogging, whether it is, like doing personal development, like reading books and stuff like that. That's what I believe in. So then obviously they go over a balance, like whether you should have a balance in life or not. So a lot of different stuff inside the book. And one thing I really wanted to touch on, and that's, I believe, if you want to be productive, you have to read that book, like, first and foremost. But what I wanted to show you, this is I believe is really going to serve you really, really well, which is the focusing question, right? So that's like the whole idea of the book, which I absolutely love, which is and the question you should ask yourself, and really put it on your computer, put it on your desk, put it on wherever. I would say put it even on your phone, because phones do get us distracted, right? So what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? So whenever you start every single day, figure out, what's that one thing that I have to do today? Maybe it's going to be some kind of project. So, if you're listening to this video, you're probably in some kind of entrepreneurship, in network marketing. So what's the one thing that's going to make a big difference within your business, within your life in general, so that all the other things will really not matter? So that's the way I structure every single day. People ask, how are you so productive? It's because I focus on one. Me personally, I do focus on like several things during the day, but I usually focus in the morning on one thing, so I knock it out and I can focus on something else, right? So like over the last week, I had to put together a new, page over on my blog, and that was important. That's something that I had to get done, and I got it done, eventually. Right? So focus on the one thing at a time and everything else will fall into place. One more thing, like this is actually something that, the reason I'm sharing this book with a lot of like coaching clients that I work with is because, it's such a great example on like how to really how to stay committed and how to be more productive, because I'm using like a lot of different daily planners, a lot of different documents to stay more productive. But there's one cool strategy, which is the blocking strategy, where you block, times during the day and you focus and you're laser focused on exact, on specific tasks that you want to accomplish. So for me, I usually block, 15-minute chunks, 30-minute chunks, up to an hour. Maximum would be 2 hours, but for me, what I find the most is I'm not really productive when I work for more than like an hour, like on one certain task. So like I try to get it done like within an hour. If I can't, I take a break and then I do something else, and then I get back to that task and I spend like an hour like more if I need to. So that would be another thing. So one more thing that the reason why I did share that focusing question is because, you have to see the bigger picture, right? If you're going somewhere, if you have some goals, you have to see a bigger picture, because then it's going to be way easier to focus on that one thing, like the small focus, that's going to make a whole difference right now. So that would be another thing. So one more thing that I wanted to share, and I believe this is like really, that made like a whole difference in my head. I'm not sure if I can find this right now, but that's a pretty cool way to actually break down your goals. And this is like very, very specific when it comes to, share, like putting together your goals and actually sticking to them. Because, like I said, like I'm putting together like a roadmap for the coaching clients that I'm working with. And it's like you always have to work backwards when it comes to sticking to your goals, when it comes to putting everything, together. Like, you have to have a bigger picture, your long-term goal, which is probably going to be 5 to 10 year old, to 10-year goal. Then you break it down into, annual goals. Then you break it down into, 6 months goals, into, yes, I found this. So goal setting to the now. So first of all, you put, I really wanted to share this because I believe this is like really important when it comes to what should you really focus on right now. So there's like a little graph, so you probably can see that over here. So I think this is really powerful. So first of all, you identify a someday goal, right? So what's the one thing I want to do someday? It's probably going to be like maybe within 5 years, within 10 years. So what's your bigger vision, right? Then you put it back, what's your 5-year goal? Right? So what do you want to accomplish in 5 years? Based on my someday goal, what's the one thing I can do in the next 5 years? And you focus on that one thing. So then 1-year goal, you break it down even further. So based on my 5-year goal, what's the one thing I can do this year, right? So you basically use the end in mind formula by Jim Rohn, pretty much, and you go backwards, like use reverse engineer the entire process. And then you break down the bigger goal into smaller ones, and that way you can identify what is it that you have to be focused on doing right away. So then 1-year goal, then monthly goal, what you have to do this month to achieve your annual goal, to achieve your 5-year goal, to achieve your someday goal, right? Then weekly goal, what do you need to do this week? Like maybe if you're in network marketing, maybe have a specific target, maybe an income goal. So how many people do you need to sponsor this week in order to hit your annual income goal, right? So daily goal, so what do you have to do daily? And then right now, what do you have to be doing this, like right this moment? So that's, I believe, really, really powerful when it comes to setting goals. So like my overall, like there's like that one thing that I disagree, which is about the discipline. So overall, I love this book. So when it comes to productivity, like that's the question I was getting quite often lately. Highly recommended. So The One Thing by Gary Keller and J. Papasan. Absolutely amazing book. I think it's like the new edition. So definitely if you want to be more productive, if you really want to have some kind of structure during your day, and you you basically you have like too much on your plate and you want to eliminate all the tasks, this is the book for you. So I hope you got value from this book review. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, feel free to like, comment, share this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like that and more book reviews. A lot more stuff is coming, and I hope it was helpful. Drop a comment if you read the book. I would like to know your feedback as well. And if you would like to receive more trainings from me and more updates from me in the future, go to my blog at JelenaOstrovska.com. Click on the sidebar banner over there, enter your name and email information, and you'll be added to my newsletter. And also you will receive a free ebook as a bonus. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.